Hey guys, Deplorable Deb. Sorry I had to come on live now. Couldn't give any notification, okay? Because I had just decided it's time that I come on. So I hope some people will get notified. If not, you can see the replay, okay? So it was important that I come on now. I don't know if you guys heard the news about, all I gotta say is this. I'm born and raised a Bronx girl, okay? But I moved to Florida gonna be 25 years ago, and I'll be honest with you, there's things of New York that I truly miss, like food and stuff, but I'll tell you right now, I am happy I'm in Florida. Okay, right now, so many people are leaving New York City. For one, is because of the taxes, the property taxes that, and I can tell you, when I'm up there, I don't see anything being done, okay? I'll be honest with you, I'm even afraid to go over any bridges, okay? The only new bridge you have was the Tappan Zee Bridge that now Cuomo named it after his family. The other thing is, this is ridiculous, the shit that Cuomo puts out and then he gets reelected. Kind of like, did I hear right? That he has no problem giving illegals driver's license? I said a long time ago, how does that happen and how does it even get approved by car insurance companies? You know what gets me? There are things that we go to apply for and we gotta have a background check, right? You want to buy a cell phone, you want to get car insurance or things like that, you got to get a background check. So I don't understand that. So they want to give illegals driver's license that, I understand there are illegals that are working, okay? But still, they don't put their fair share of what an American, okay, or an immigrant that came over and became a citizen, what they pay. So I don't want to hear, well, they're working and they're contributing. That's not how I see it. They will never contribute what they're supposed to contribute if they were actually a citizen, okay, with a real Social Security card. Do you understand what I said? And a job where payroll taxes are coming out and things, just the normal stuff, like everybody else, people that own a house, own a car and that. I can't get how that could be. How could that be that they'll give a driver's license, even California? And how do they get car insurance? Look, there was a time in Florida when I even moved here, you didn't have to have insurance. But you know what? Too many people were getting hurt. That's why we have now the uninsured motorist. That's an additional, you see, of what we have to pay in the hopes that we don't get in an accident with somebody that doesn't have insurance. That's how that came about. Now, you got Mayor de Blasio, Big Bird, who said today, and I know I heard this right, over 600,000 illegals, he now wants to give health insurance. Do you hear what I said? Health insurance, because he claims they go to the emergency room and it costs more money for them. So now he wants to give them their own health insurance. Do you know how many people? This is what I'm not understanding. So Democrats and liberals out there, you go for that when many of you don't have insurance? You got hit during the time of Obama's insurance, Obamacare, where you were being penalized on your income tax and you had to pay, the fine that he called, a credit or whatever. It was no credit. Okay, you were scammed out of losing part of your return. And then if you weren't getting a return and you owed taxes, then you owed a lot more because now you had to pay the penalty for not having any insurance. President Trump, they stopped that little fine that they put in, okay, through taxes. So the people won't see. You won't get a bill. You were supposed to get a bill that says, oh, I'm a bad person because I can't afford insurance, so now penalize me. Then when I go to the emergency room, I get a bill from the emergency room. But now on my taxes, I got to pay a penalty because my job could not afford to have coverage for me to pay through my paycheck. See? So now, your tax dollars of the people that live in New York City, or probably the whole state of New York, can you believe it? You're going to be paying for all these illegals where you might end up not having insurance for yourself and your child. I just don't get. Nobody's like, you know what? Is that incredible? Then you got the other shit-brain governor of California, Newman or Newsom, whatever the hell he is, okay? I give Kimberly Guilford credit for kicking his ass to the curb, okay? What does he want to do today? He comes out being Mr. Daddy, holding his kid, his new wife, whatever, and he just comes out and wants to look like a hero now in California, saying, we're going to have, sanctuary city. We're going to give anybody that needs sanctuary. So guys, don't you see something here? It tells you right now that these Democrats and liberals do not want any border security. But meanwhile, years ago, Obama, Pelosi, Schumer, all of them, Hillary Clinton, wanted border security, which included a barrier, a fence, a wall, all of that. I don't get why people are allowing this. I'll be honest with you guys, there has to be incredible voter fraud. Because I don't know how this freaking governor stood up there and said this shit, and in no regards for the family of Officer Singe, who was just gunned down by an illegal, and the illegal's family or friends even colluded. See? They colluded to try to get him out. So he wouldn't, go to prison. This is what I'm not understanding. How this is being allowed. How this is now being allowed. And people are for this. See what's going to happen? When they do stuff like this, of course we're going to have a massive caravan coming over the borders. And I hope the president states that. When we have American people that are in politics doing this shit, I'm not understanding in our immigration laws that don't need changing. They need to be enforced and followed. It says in there, any person aiding and abetting an illegal is a felon. And yet we see people being elected into office, and then what do? They're committing a crime right in our damn face. Right in our face. I don't know how else to say this. And I still say, people are not going to wake up. Liberals that are for this. You will wake up when it happens to you. When it happens to someone that you truly love, cherish, your child, your husband, your brother, your mother, your father, your cousins, your grandparents, and they're killed, you're going to wish the day that you stood up. And then what does Newsom do? It's the same way with the Democrats. They're doing everything to trap black people, to brainwash them, to trap Spanish people, but meanwhile, they don't want to face reality. They don't even, look at the walkaway campaign. Look at the amount of people that walked away. But in their mind, in the Democrats and liberals' mind, they still got this hold on Spanish people. And they got this hold on black people. Because they just don't get it. They don't get that these people are waking up, okay? How does this pan out for the black community? Where a lot of them have no coverage at all. The best that gets me is all the military at one time had no coverage and lived in the streets. How come we never had sanctuary city for the military, for people that went and fought to protect us, to give us the freedom that we have now? You know what? I'll tell you. The whole thing, when we had Ellis Island, we didn't have this shit. And maybe that should have never been changed or shut down. And I understand what people say. Well, half the people come in because they fly. You know why? Because nobody gave a crap to enforce those laws. That's what happened. We allowed people to come to this country with a different agenda than to keep our country safe. The same way like the idiot that called the president, I don't even want to name her, okay? The idiot that said about our president and called him an MF. You see what her agenda is? And I'm going to tell you now, guys, what I would do. Everybody has to call their congressperson. Everybody needs to get on their congressman and let them know what's coming across, that from what I'm hearing, she lied about where she lived. She used her father's address. Read up on it. She used her father's address so she could win. See? She didn't even live there. And then she comes out of the ballpark attacking our president. And what agenda did they have? They all went in with the agenda, okay, on day one, where do I sign, as if they have the powers to impeach a sitting president because they don't like the way he's running the country, okay? Or maybe they don't like because he's not Muslim, okay? They got used to, okay? They got used to having that. That's what happened. What she said, she was escorted out of one of Trump's rallies. Yeah, I remember that. Yep, I could see that. So, let me tell you about tonight. Okay, this is what I would do. You know me. I'm not, as soon as the president talks, I'm turning the TV off. Okay? I will not give the other party the same way that they're for taking our freedom of speech away. Well, you know what? Hey, we could play the same game even though it's not right. But you know what? I don't want to hear anything out of their mouth because what they're doing, they're hurting us. This ain't stopping their freedom of speech. They're the ones with the lies. The way they disrespected Nielsen when they had the meeting because they don't want to hear statistics and that. And then they were like babies today. They had to cry. They had to, fight so they can have their 3 minutes or whatever. So they're going to come on to debunk the president. And then supposedly I heard that some people want the networks that if the president goes off script, they're going to, first of all, I thought whatever the president's going to talk about, why is that out given? See, that's another thing. If we all have freedom of speech, he is the president. This is what I keep saying, guys. I voted for a president. I didn't vote for some liberal judges who I don't even know, never heard them speak or hear their platform. So I'm telling you what I'm going to do to show them they have no clout. Turn them off. That's how I feel. Don't stay. Don't even stay on Fox unless you really, you know what? Go later. You want to hear with them. But I don't need to hear the idiot Schumer and her speak. Okay? I have enough of it. I have enough of it. And I'll tell you what. We should kick all of ourselves in the ass. I've been saying it a long time. Because if we had term limits, we wouldn't have this shit now. We wouldn't have people that flip-flop. This is what I don't get. I don't get how they forget they're on film. How every day they must hate social media so much. They must hate the fact that people could get videos of everything they say. But they can't. You know why they don't like the president? Because he doesn't do that. He does not do that. He is standing firm. Because I'm going to tell you something, guys, where people say, or another thing today, I see people posting negative posts. Well, if the president goes this way and he keeps the shutdown going, he's going to lose so many people. And you know what I wrote back? I said, stop with the negative posts to get people upset and discouraged. What the president is doing now, he's showing us as a country, he's not flip-flopping. He's fighting for us. He's fighting to take care of a problem that has been a problem for over 30-something years that affected so many presidents that promised they were going to do something about the southern border and immigration and did jack shit. And he doesn't want to be a jack shit president. You get that? He doesn't want to be that because he's the first president that has had an agenda, has done more things than we could even imagine for this country. And he's staying strong to us, the American people. And you know what? He went in, he's sticking to his guns about a wall, a barrier, slats, whatever you want to call it. Because you know what? He didn't get into this to be loved. You understand what I'm saying? He's not here to be loved. He don't care. It rolls off his shoulders. Do you get it? His goal and his fight is for what he promised to us, the American people. And all I keep saying, this man and his family put everything on the line where he is a billionaire. He could have been retiring, having a great life, but he chose to do one more thing on his bucket list. If this country needed it, and it did. And he took on the fight to help the Americans, especially the silent majority. You get that? Because he has been watching for years. Watching for years. And you know what, guys? In those 30-something years, everybody liked him. I have a video I'm going to show you where they all liked him. You're going to see people in it that liked him until he decided to run for president. So, let me show you that. You ready? Here we go.
But in this room there are knives sharp
I want
enough
to see if it's going to
bone,
turn.
and hearts cold enough to
Hold on.
bruise as hors d'oeuvres.
I don't think that.
But in this room there are knives
All right,
sharp
it
enough
won't
to cut
turn.
you to the
So
bone,
there.
and hearts cold enough to eat yours as hors d'oeuvres.
I don't think that the legendary Clark Gable has anything to fear, I must tell you.
Down the hall and to the left.
Thanks.
It's the Donald! Oh my God!
Thank you for ruining my life. What did you do?
Everybody's always blaming me for everything. Come on,
I'm gonna win this race.
Waldo, you're the best son money can buy.
Thanks, Dad.
Actually, hiring Eddie was my idea from the beginning.
Donald Trump, I'd like you to meet... Oh, what am I talking about? All you handsome zillionaires know each other.
Sorry, Frank, but I'm gonna go crash and burn to the country. Call me. Okay, kids, make it fast. I've got a plane to catch.
We've created a magazine. Mr. Trump, we give you...
Savvy. And I didn't get rich by throwing away quarters.
You're Donald Trump. Look at this right here on the street. It's Donald Trump.
Kind of weird, isn't it? Sort of like I'm human.
Mr. Trump here wrote The Art of the Deal. Then he wrote a new bestseller, The Art of the Comeback. 2 books. Wow.
What are you working on, Donald?
Well, I'm working on buying St. Patrick's Cathedral. Maybe doing a little rip-down job and putting up a very, very tall and beautiful building.
Samantha, a cosmopolitan, and Donald Trump. You just don't get more New York than that.
Listen, man, I've got to go. Yeah, good. Think about it. Yeah, I'll be at my office at downtown. Good.
Look, without Derek Zoolander, male modeling wouldn't be what it is today.
Donald is here, live on Monday Night Raw. You think it is? Takeover of Donald Trump on Vince McMahon. It's happened.
This is my friend Michael Neal.
Hey, listen, are you bagging her? Huh? Are you?
No, we just met.
Well, call me, Liz.
Oh, sure. Thanks.
Talking about the environment.
That sounds pretty interesting to me. Have a great time. How's Martin?
Very well, thank you. In fact, so busy I have to make an appointment to see him.
Well, that's not bad. Say hello.
Very well. Bye. Great coffee. So attractive.
Hundreds of millions of years ago, people were doing business, and they were trading in rocks and stones and other things.
Who would want to buy rocks?
I don't know, man. You gotta ask them that. I loved what he did. If I was Roger, I wouldn't have liked it, but I enjoyed it. I hope he never does one on me, though.
Welcome, Donald Trump, and Will embraces Karen Walker.
Green Acres is the place to be. Farm living is the life for me. Land spreading out so far and wide. Keeping hot, just give me that countryside. Green President Clinton and Monica Lewinsky. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know where these folks came from, Linda Tripp and Monica and all of the folks, Paula Jones. I've never seen anything like it, and I'm sure the president wished he'd never seen anything like it. But you have some beauties in that deal. No, the whole thing,
What would you have done?
no, he could have come clean, or he should have never answered the question. And it's pretty tough answering that question with your wife sitting at home. So your wife is home. Hillary's had a hard time of it, let's face it. This could not have been 3 years of fun for Hillary.
Hillary and Rudy Giuliani in New York, what do you got there?
Well, I'm a big fan of Rudy.
You think?
And I like Hillary, too. I like her very much. As a person, I like her very much. But I think Rudy's been the best mayor we've ever had. The city is the hottest city in the world right now.
Isn't it?
But it feels so right.
And it's a deal.
Yes, we eat our pizza the wrong way.
Crust first. Introducing.
You've got to be losing money on that.
Hey, Mr. Trump, please.
My new game is Trump, the game.
Trump, the game. Or Trump, the game. From Milton Bradley.
I think you'll like it.
You said that on June 27th there'd be 2 years after Trump?
That's right.
Convenience of the Visa check card.
Oops. Looking good, number 9. Looking good.
Where's your dignity?
Donald J. Trump signature collection, only at Macy's.
Donnie?
You're fired. You're fired. Nice suit. You're a dashing man. I know it.
For 2 with the handsome, the totally dreamy Mr. Donald Trump. That there are 4 immigrants on the whole
Come on, try getting it out. Try getting it out.
I'll get it out.
I mean, I don't know if you're going to put this on television, but you don't even know what you're talking about. Try getting it out. Go ahead.
Oh, Don, you're a little controversial. You're talking about illegal immigration. I said it's illegal.
We have very stupid people in our country negotiating for us, and we have leaders that don't know what they're doing.
He was begging for my endorsement. I could have said, Mitt, drop to your knees. He would have dropped to his knees. He was begging.
What is your tax rate?
It's none of your business. You'll see it when I release.
This is a tough business.
Oh, you're a tough guy, Jim.
And we need to have a leader that is real tough. You're never going to be president of the United States by insulting your way to the
Let's see,
presidency.
I'm at 42 and you're at 3, so
Doesn't
far
matter.
I'm doing better.
Doesn't matter.
We're back with the Trumps. Donald and Melania. Okay. Is he a control freak?
I don't think he's a control freak. He's perfectionist.
What don't we know about him?
What do we
would
know?
the public not know about him?
Not know. Amazing heart. He likes to help people. He has friends. He's loyal to it. He is great sense of humor. Great.
Let me tell you, I just got a laugh when I saw Jeb Bush tell him he ain't gonna be president. Listen, guys, the point to this is that he was out there as a public figure, okay? He was on shows. See? Everybody liked him. If they didn't like him, he wouldn't be on any show. He wouldn't have had The Apprentice. Do you understand my point? So, you know what? Liberals and Democrats don't get that. They don't get the point that everybody liked him. I worked in the city, okay? I worked for New York Hospital. And I was down there when he was doing so many things. I never heard one derogatory thing about him. Matter of fact, many people used to just comment on his hair. That was it. So you know what? My point is, everybody liked him. Many wanted to be on The Apprentice. Now, what changed? And I'm still going to say it. They're not just mad that he's president. They're mad because he didn't run as a Democrat that they hope he would have. Because I'll tell you now, if he ran as a Democrat and won, we wouldn't be going through this. We would not be going through this. So that's why there's 2 things that they're upset about. Because they knew he was going to win. They knew it. And their candidate was a flawed candidate. She didn't win the first time. She didn't win the second time. So that's my point. My point is, like I said, did you see? How about this one? Do you remember when there's pictures out there of him with Rosa Parks, Muhammad Ali, what's his name? The tax invader, Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, where he was at award dinners, okay? At black award dinners. He was given awards from black communities. Gee, I don't know any racist that any black community would be giving them an award. See my point? If he was a racist, I don't think Rosa Parks would like him. Look at the old Oprah Winfrey, you know, before she even was, how do I say it, rejuvenated. Do you remember when she first came out? She looked like she couldn't even speak properly. And then they want to make fun of my accent, where she goes, even when she was laughing, okay? Before her whole face was changed, okay? So understand that. So, all those times, go to the old videos. They all loved Donald J. Trump. Yep. So, let me now, while I'm here, because I want to get this out, read the President Trump's tweets. Because that's another thing. By keeping me off Facebook, they think they're keeping off President Trump's tweets. Okay, so I read that one. But I got to read it again. So let's go over this one. With all of the success that our country is having, including the just released job numbers, which are off the charts, the fake news and totally dishonest media concerning me and my presidency has never been worse. Many have become crazed lunatics who have given up on the truth. The fake news will knowingly lie and demean in order to make the tremendous success of the Trump administration and me look as bad as possible. I'm reading this because that's what they're going to do tonight. First, many networks didn't want to air him, you know, like if they're the boss. See, this is what gets me. Like, they're the boss. This is the president of the United States. I don't care what the mainstream media did years ago when they did it to Obama. You know what? That shouldn't have happened either. That should not have happened. If you're the president, you know what, guys? This shit wouldn't happen in another country. Okay? The mainstream media or people disrespecting the president would be court-martialed. Okay? So when people say, oh, but they did it to Obama, you know what? That was wrong. That was wrong. He was the president. And if a president comes out to speak to the nation, every freaking network should be covering it. Out of respect to that seat. Whether the media likes him or not. And no media should turn around and put down a president. Because you know what? If this was another country, they'd be shot and court-martialed. The same way the bitch that I call her, who came out, and she knows damn well that if she went to her country and did what she did, she wouldn't be here now. See? This is what gets me. They can't get away with the shit in their own country. They don't fight for their country. They don't stay there to fight, and she knows it as a woman. So what does she do? They come here, or born here, whatever, but they still got that ideology in the family, And instead of trying to go back and fight for the country that's making them the way they are, they want to stay here and they want to change our American ways and bring their shit over here. That they fight, and that she opens her mouth and disrespects. Let me explain something, guys. Write it to me. Picture her calling any leader in another one of those Muslim countries an MF. What would happen to her? Okay? What would happen to her? Second of all, she wouldn't even be in that power, okay? So all these women that are running to be in our Congress, this is what gets me. This is what I was laughing at. When they all got up, the Democrats, and made it a woman thing. None of them get on a damn plane and fly to another country to stand up for the country that they left or their parents left. And it's not a country that they came here because they wanted a better life. They came here with that anger. They came with the anger, and then they don't want to assimilate. And what do you expect from Dearborn, Michigan? How did that even happen? Listen to me. How do we even have, and I'm going to say this, how do we even have places on American soil, okay, that we have American people that can't go in? Or they lie and they say that it's not true with the no-go zones. You know, the no-go zones like Britain has. How did that happen? That's what I'm saying. How did we allow our country to become that way? Right? How did that happen? I don't go to those other countries. None of us want to go there. Second of all, it's not our country to go to. And I would never go to a country like that. And I would never go to a country and disrespect their laws, their rules. But I want to know why. We have places now that has gotten so bad that Americans can't even go and walk on that American soil because it's now like being in another country. The same way I see pictures in Britain of that happening. So I don't get that. I don't get how that happened. Look, I grew up in the Bronx. We had Little Italy. I grew up working in Manhattan. I would go to Chinatown, okay? I would go to Mulberry Street for the festivals. But I never felt, when I was down there, that I had no right to be there. There's the difference. Do you get it? I never felt that Chinatown was now making their own rules and laws and creating their own politicians. Do you get the drift? I never felt when I would go to Arthur Avenue, okay? Even if Mafia had their mothers there, did I ever feel like I was in a place that I did not belong? See? I didn't worry about the Mafia having their own little president, Congress people. See? So I want to know how the hell we allowed Dearborn, Michigan. See what I'm saying? I'm only asking a question. How did that happen? And I'm going to tell you something. when my parents came to New York, right over the 59th Street Bridge was a whole community of Maltese people. And my father and my mother didn't want to go there. Because in my father's mind, I came to a country to have a better life for my children. If he, like he says, and he's not putting down Maltese, okay? He just felt he wanted to assimilate to the American ways. And that meant being able to live with a diversity of people. If he wanted to stay around Maltese people, he would have stayed in Malta. Even when I went with them to dances or to pick up pastizzi, I never felt, and even in Michigan, there's a number of Maltese communities. But you know what? I never hear of those Maltese communities having their own Maltese mayor. All signs are changed in Maltese. See? I don't ever, when I would go to Arthur Avenue, see anything in Italian. And you know what? Majority of the little old ladies that lived in Arthur Avenue, some of them never even got to speak English. And they were fine with that. The same way, when I came to Florida, and I got into a relationship with a Greek woman who lived in Tarpon Springs. Even in Tarpon Springs, you do not see Greek signs. Everything in Greek. So I just want to know, when I see these videos of Dearborn, Michigan, I'm bringing out a point. How the hell did we allow that? How the hell did we allow that when you see pictures of it, you think you're in another country? Why? Why was that allowed? So you don't see where maybe we're in the shit we're in because that happened. And I'm not saying that Muslims can't have their own community. Not saying that at all. But I want to know why a lot of things are different over there that's being reported. Why, when I have to hear that a courtroom or a judge even has the discussion of Sharia law? I'm not understanding that. How does that even happen? Why any discussion of any law, not just Sharia law? Let's see if there's another country that has their laws and they want to bring it over here. It's like Maltese laws, you don't get divorced, okay? They were one of the last that allowed divorces. So let me go back to years. So should my parents, who might have not stayed together, let's say, and my dad decides he wants to get a divorce, but my mother wants to continue being the way it is in Malta. See? So you understand the point? So should she go to the American courts and say, I want to be granted, the way it is in Malta, that my husband can't get a divorce? See? I'm not getting it. And then you know what happens, guys? We're seeing it now. We're seeing this congresswoman, who to me is very radical, actually on her first day be so disrespectful to our president, whether you like him or not. And they think it's funny. But I give kudos to the Democrats that are calling her out. Personally, I think she needs to be removed. You got to set an example. So this way, even if a Republican comes in, okay, and says something derogatory about another Democrat who could be president. See what I'm saying? Something has to stop this behavior. It didn't happen with Maxine Waters. It didn't happen with the other one, okay, a couple of months ago, where she called for assassination of President Trump. See? I don't get it. And that's why, until people are held accountable, nothing's going to change. And we're the fault of it. We're the fault of it because how did we let that happen? Every time I hear of Michigan, okay? I've been wanting to go to Michigan for a very long time, well, to Mackinac Island because of somewhere in time. When I think of Michigan, I think of a lot of the automobile industries. And I'm like this because I happened to see a documentary. I brought up about it. Right? How many car industries we had. All you see now is rundown areas and factories and things like that. So yeah, you know, I myself, coming from New York City, and we had little communities, you know, we don't see these little communities getting so bad that they actually think they're living in the country. See, this is what happens. If you allow it here, and instead of them staying in their country and fighting for their country is where they should be. Instead of coming here on American soil and want to bring their country here. Then what happens? You get other American people. This is my point. How do we allow areas where other Americans are not allowed to step foot in? Why? Or are afraid to step foot in? Unreal. Okay, so I read that one. Read that. Okay. President Trump says, I am pleased to inform you that I will address the nation on the humanitarian and national security crisis on our southern border Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, which will be in 2 hours here. Because I'm Eastern, I guess for people in California, it will be what, at 6 o'clock? 20 hours ago, the president tweeted, endless wars, especially those which are fought out of judgment mistakes that were made many years ago, and those where we are getting little financial or military help from the rich countries that so greatly benefit from what we are doing, will eventually come to a glorious end. Thank you, President Trump. 10 hours ago, economic numbers looking really good. Can you imagine if I had long-term zero interest rates to play with like the past administration rather than the rapidly raised normalized rates we have today? That would have been so easy. Still, markets up big since 2016 election. 10 hours ago. Now, let me read this because it looks like it's a quote. Okay. Yeah. This is a quote. The president is the biggest and best supporter of the steel industry in many years. We are now doing really well. The tariffs let us compete. Was unfair that the steel industry lost its jobs to unfair trade laws. Very positive outcome. Mark Glyptis, United Steel Workers. 10 hours ago, talks with China are going very well. And 9 hours ago, the last tweet from President Trump, congratulations to a truly great football team. The Clemson Tigers on an incredible win last night against a powerful Alabama team. A big win also for the great state of South Carolina. Look forward to seeing the team and their brilliant coach for the second time at the White House. Way to go, President Trump. Now, let's just see. Okay, I've already been on almost an hour. I don't want to go an hour. I think something, when we're on about an hour, they kind of like get wacky and that. So, yeah, guys, this is what I'm saying. To get the point to the Democrats, soon as they come on, which I think they're going to come on like 3 minutes after, just turn the TV off. You'll get to see it because you could go on social media or you can go on later and see it. Look, I don't listen to them when they come on even during a press conference. I don't care to listen to them because you know how I feel? We should have never had this type of policy where we don't have term limits. See? So what happens is you actually have people serving in Congress who in their warped mind, they know better than any president we're going to elect. It doesn't matter Democrat or Republican when you think about it. A lot of them must feel that way. They get so snooty and high-powered that they really feel, and I don't even think that's a party thing with them. Okay, that's just them. That's them. That's them getting older, and that's what they feel. But you know what? They feel that way, but they took the easy way out. They stayed running in elections, getting the people to vote for them, but yet none of them stopped to even run for president. And you know why? Because they figured, oh, if I run for president, guess what? I could only be in for 4 years or 8 years. And then what benefits do I get being president when everybody's watching me as president? But you know what? As a congressperson who doesn't have term limits, guess what? I could sit back and just, fool my constituents that I'm going to do everything they want. Except guess what? I'm here forever. And I can get all the money. Why be president when I can have more fun with lobbyists? I can have more fun than even living on the money, what, $190,000? But look at Pelosi, what she must say. Wow, look at me. Look at when I came in here about 30 years ago. And look at all the money I have now. And a lot of them say, well, Deb, they have rich husbands. Really? Really? See, guys, just how fooled we all been? That's why I say, what a backup crock of crap we have, only 4 years for president, either 8 years the most, and then if they talk their wife into running, so possibly they'll get more. But yet, we have all these Congress people that don't live on the same means that we do. They don't even have the same health insurance. This is what I'm saying. They get all these quirks. They find somebody to even look like President Trump, explained to us. They get people to buy, I guess, the seat. And then somehow they pick you to get in it. So this way, when you get into those seats, you don't do for the constituents that voted you in. You now are only caring about the lobbyists. Think about it, guys. The president explained it very well. That's why you don't see. You constantly, when you think about this, now let's think about it. How is it that we don't see a lot of people running for president? Now, you might see that with the Democrats because they're on a mission, okay? This is like trying to get the golden fleece, and the golden fleece is President Trump. Their mission is not to do anything for this country, not even for the Democrats. See, this is the fools. We're all, okay? When you think about it, even Democrats, liberals, all of us have been played. We've all been played by both parties. I got to tell you that. So now the biggest mission is the Democrats. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, the big game was the Republicans. But when you watch, normally, you will never have that many people running. Because they rather stay as congressmen. Makes a lot of sense, right? Makes a whole lot of sense with me because I got a business background, so I figured it out. I still don't understand. Nancy Pelosi being a millionaire. Maxine Waters being a millionaire. Okay? And I still think I want the names. I'm going to say it again. Every time they talk impeachment or the president taxes, I think President Trump is going to say, you want my taxes? Well, give us the list of all that hush money that was paid out. Because I want to see. And I don't care when they say all of that has to stay private. Okay? Don't believe it. We have a right. It's our tax dollars. I have a right to know who my tax dollars paid, what type of sexual act it was, or what the crime was, who it paid to, and who it was paid for. And to know if they're still in Congress. So we're all going to see that soon. I'm hoping. So let's see what's going on Twitter right now. Because I like to keep you up with that. Because like I said, guys, going forward, just follow the president. Follow the president. So, hold on a minute. Put that out. Okay. A lot of people don't see me online right now, so they don't know. Okay. What I was talking about. Schumer. We don't want to hear it. Pelosi and Schumer both silenced Nielsen during today's daily briefing. Unbelievable. They use my thing. They're using my word. Unbelievable. Democrats refuse to listen to security briefing on the border, focused on shutdown instead according to official. See, they don't want the stats. They don't want the truth. Let's see. And they want the borders open. See, we have a big drug problem. And it goes further. It goes further. It goes further. It goes further. Think about it, guys. Think about why anybody would want to keep the border open. Okay? This is bigger than any of us know. Okay, Secretary Pompeo put out a tweet 4 hours ago. Iran and Hezbollah has terrorized Europe since 1979. By taking action today, Europe nations sent Iran a clear message that terrorism will not be tolerated. The U.S. strongly supports the new sanctions and stands with our European allies as we counter this coming threat. Okay, and today is good news. Our Florida governor was, yeah, I think he was sworn in. Okay, this is really good. Florida governor suspends Broward County Sheriff Scott Israel. Yes, yes. Good. It's about damn time. Thank you, Governor Santos. And I'm pretty sure that Andrew Pollock is very happy. And I think many people are. So see, guys, things are happening. Things are happening that are good. Just trying to bring you some other stuff. There's a lot going on with, and I'm going to say her name now, that Rashida Tlaib, I think her name is. I can't even say their name. You know, it makes no sense. Okay, radical Rashid Tlaib posted this tweet stating hatred if Americans one day after being sworn into Congress, hatred towards. She deleted it, but not before many took a screenshot. Wow. I'll tell you. And I think she had some remark that's anti-Semitic. That's how you say that? Unbelievable. Okay, James Woods. I love listening to his tweets. He says, a remarkably high percentage of people in Hollywood are hard-working, decent Americans. They work long hours and are skilled and very pleasant professionals. Then there are those few true scum who lie, cheat, steal, and abuse others, both men and women. Okay. Yep, everybody's talking about Florida governor suspends Broward County sheriff. Yep, that was a long time coming. Sure is. So, I gotta feed the dogs. Get ready, because I can't wait for his speech. Let me read you what I was talking about Bill de Blasio. Then I'm gonna go. It says Bill de Blasio guarantees health care to every New York City resident regardless of immigration status. East Coast Mayor Dedmont is in tight competition with West Coast Governor Patrick Bateman to reward their voter base. And a day later, I don't know who's doing this, but let me go because somebody's trying to get me. I'll talk to you later. Love you guys. Bye-bye. And thank you always for tuning in. Bye-bye. Love yous. Don't forget, don't tune in to what the Democrats. You can see it. Just see it after. Don't give them